Paul had shared the good news about Jesus in Corinth. Many people believed the gospel and they began meeting together as a church. After Paul left, he heard that the believers in Corinth were turning away from the gospel. Other people had come and taught them things that weren't true. These teachers led the Corinthians away from the one true gospel, and Paul was worried. So Paul wrote a letter to the church. "Listen," Paul wrote, "I care about you. I want you to be faithful to Jesus and remember the gospel." Paul knew that the people had been tricked by the false teachers, like a serpent in the Garden of Eden had tricked Eve. Eve had everything she needed, but she believed the serpent's lies and disobeyed God. The Corinthian believers had everything they needed, the good news of the gospel, yet they were turning away to listen to wrong teaching. "I'm not a great speaker," Paul admitted, "but I know what I'm talking about." Paul relied on God's power to share the gospel. He spent his life sharing the good news, even though it meant facing suffering. Paul didn't share the gospel to get something from those who listened. He told them about Jesus because he loved them. Paul wrote, "I won't back down." False teachers are trying to spread different messages so that the good news about Jesus won't go out. These teachers are against God, and they are only trying to take advantage of you. Paul spoke up because he knew the truth. If anyone deserves to be listened to, it's me. I've worked hard, been thrown in jail and beaten, and nearly died to share the gospel. God had chosen Paul and had changed his life. Paul knew his suffering was worth it, and he wasn't going to give up. I do all of this because God, the Father of the Lord Jesus, deserves to be praised. Sharing Jesus with the world is not always easy. There will always be some who try to stop the good news from spreading. God calls believers to follow and obey Jesus no matter what.